Hello guys, and welcome back to my 20th podcast episode. My name is Kendall. I am the host of this podcast. I did change my Instagram name, so it is now _Kendall's crochets Kendall's creations _ that will be linked in the description, as well as my Etsy, as well as all of the links to the yarn I bought and I received and the patterns. And since I get my needles off of Amazon, the links are really long and there's a lot of them that I use, and so I am just gonna list the ones I use instead of linking them. But we have a little bit of everything to talk about today. We have some finished objects, some whips, some acquisitions in here, and coming soon, arriving today and tomorrow, and also some patterns, but that'll come up in a second. So, if you guys watched last week, well, not last week, the week before that, you guys will know I was going on a trip right after Thanksgiving, and so that was really fun. I love seeing my family. And then yesterday I got inducted into my school's chapter of the National Honor Society, which is a really big deal. I am the second person ever in my family to get inducted. The first one was my grandmother's brother, and so it's a big deal, and I'm obviously the first woman and the first black one, so it was really cool. But let's get into the knitting podcast part of this podcast. So, finished objects, I have two. These are both gift knits, and they are my Muscleburgs. You can see I did this stripe a little too high, but this one's for my mom, so I'm a little less worried about it being perfect. But this, as I said before, is the Muscleburg Pattern by somebody whose name I cannot pronounce, but of course it'll be linked in the description. I used Big Twist value in, what's it called? I actually have a ball right here. I'm trying to just remember it, but I couldn't. Chocolate brown. And I knit the adult large for my uncle, and then the adult, I don't know if this is the medium or the small. It's one of the two. For my mom. And I used ChiaoGoo 16 and 32 inch 4mm circulars, which, since I mentioned those needles, if you guys have been watching for a while, you will know that that's what I had my sweater on, which technically is still a whip. It's on hold until all of my gift knits are done, until all of my, what is that? Oh, until all of my Muscleburgs are done at least. I'm trying to find it in my tub of stuff here. Found it. Literally all I did was split for the sleeves and and then use up the rest of the ball of yarn that was attached. And I will not be able to pick this up until after all of my Muscleburgs are done, because I am using both length needles for the Muscleburgs, because I do magic loop on the 32 inch, and then after a while I switch to 16 inch circulars just so I can work in the round and have it be a little bit more seamless. So on to whips. I have two. One of them you guys have seen before, one of them you have not. So the one that you have seen before is the second sock of the vanilla sock pattern by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. That's what all of my socks have been, unless it's something different, I will say, but it is not for this week. And when I last saw you, I think I only had 2 rounds done, maybe 3, I don't know, something like that, some very small number on the cuff, and now I have the whole cuff done. This isn't very, my phone is not good at really picking up the color. It's a little bit less vibrant, it's a little bit darker in person, but this is Cascade's Heritage yarn, and I don't have the label for a color, but it's a very pretty magenta. Pretty sure this is 80/20. I actually have another hank of it so I can see. No, it's 75/25. Superwash, merino, and nylon. And so that's the first one. I'll show you the second one and then tell you about how everything's going. This is using the same yarn, and again, I don't know the colorway for this one either. Sorry. But this is a completely new cast on since the last time you guys saw me. It's a beautiful blue color. It was showing up more baby blue in the bag, but I think because it's a baby blue bag, it kind of just blended in. But it's a very vibrant blue. And so I cast this on right after I finished my mom's hat, because I made my uncle's first, since it was the biggest and would take the most time. And I think I cast this on, today's Friday, I think I cast this on Wednesday? Yeah, cast this on Wednesday, after finishing the cuff for this one on Tuesday when I finished that. So I have the whole cuff and the whole leg done, and I don't know if you guys can see because I only have two little I call them rounds because you're doing, my heating just turned on, since you're working half the stitches and you need 2 rows to complete the set, I just call them rounds, but it is 4 rows on the slip stitch heel flap. And so what the plan is with this and my other gift knits is every Friday I will cast on another Muscleburg, and then I'll work on that exclusively for 4 to 5 days, and then for the rest 2 to 3 days I will be working on these socks, because these are like personal things, they aren't gift knits, and it gives me a bit of a break from the Muscleburg, because, you know, I did this in 2 days and I like socks. And also working with such big needles, I found kind of hurt my wrist a lot more. Oh, I completely forgot to mention something about the Muscleburgs. So this is not the same one you guys saw last week. Last episode. The one last episode was using 2.75mm needles, and I was not happy with how it was turning up, and it was coming out so slow, and I just didn't want to deal with it, so I ripped it all out, and then I cast on this one with 4mm, and I was scared the fabric would be too loose, but it's a very nice fabric, and it works up a whole lot quicker. And so that's how they're all going to be made, which is why I had to do my sweater and not work on it since then, because I've been using those needles. But back to being on track. So my goal is to have the Muscleburg I'm about to start right after I'm done recording this done by Monday or Tuesday. And then, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, the Tuesday's a maybe, so at least Wednesday and Thursday, maybe Tuesday, I will work on the socks. And what's going to happen is I will be working on, I'll do the leg for this sock, and then I'll finish the heel flap and turn for this one, and then I'll do the heel flap and turn for this one. Obviously that's probably not going to be within the 2 to 3 days I'm working on this, but it's still, like, that's my plan for a bit. And I do plan to have all of my gift knits done by the time I start finals, which my first day of finals is Wednesday the 15th, I think. Whatever that Wednesday is in that week. And so then I can have all my finals done and not worry about like cramming in my gifting, and I can kind of work on my socks leisurely. And for 2 out of those 3 days I do get out of school earlier, about an hour and a half earlier than I usually do. And so I'll have more time to knit, which is great. And I very well might bring my knitting with me to the finals, because if I'm not doing anything in that class, the finals, like everybody's done with the final, I can knit. So, like, some of my classes we're doing projects instead. And if we're, like, done presenting our project or we're done talking about it or whatever, what's probably going to happen is we're going to watch a movie, or we're just going to be able to go on our phones. And I'm thinking, you know what, might as well knit if I can. If I can't, not a big deal. I'll still have the extra time afterwards. So those are my whips. And I have a few acquisitions. Quite a few. But I'm going to talk about the ones... So I bought a pattern, and I had to buy... I just accidentally clicked something. Hold up. And so I had to buy the needles for the pattern because I thought I had at least one of them, and I didn't. So I bought them. But I got a $100 Amazon gift card for my birthday from my uncle. Thank you, Uncle Dave. And so I used it on that. So I technically didn't buy it, so it doesn't really count as cheating. Although I did buy one skein of yarn, but it was on sale. And then I got an extra 20% off. So it's not that bad. But the pattern I got is the My Little Secret Crop by Jessie Made Designs. Her Ravelry specifically to this crop top will be linked below. It is her ribbed one. You've probably seen it with other podcasters or just other knitters. It's a very popular design. And so I got the needles for that, which are US size 3, 3.25 millimeter, and US size 5, 3.75 millimeter. And they're my ChiaoGoo 32-inch red lace ones. So the 3.25 is coming in today, and then the 3.75 is coming in tomorrow. So in theory, I could cast on today, but I'm going to wait until after all of my Muscleburgs are done, and then I'm going to pick up the sweater again and do My Little Secret crop and the socks and all of my other socks, and it's just going to be a whole lot of whips. But that means most likely, no, my next episode won't be, I don't want to say fun, but it won't have all of the whips because I'll be starting my very last Muscleburg, which will probably be for my brother because I need to measure my brother's head. I didn't measure my uncle's, but he is notorious for having like a big head in the family, so I just did the adult large because I am like in between the adult medium and large with my head circumference, and I know his head is a little bit bigger than mine, so I just did the adult large with him. And then I measured my mom's head to get a rough measurement for my aunt, because like they share hats, so they have about the same size head, I assume. So then I knit my mom's, and I can knit my aunt's using the same exact one and just make the stripe a little bit lower. Lesson learned. And then I'll measure my brother's head and cast his on most likely on the day that you guys see me next. Maybe? Is that how it works? No, it'll be done. Yeah, my next episode will be without the whips. I have no clue what I was thinking, because I'm casting this one on today, meaning I'll cast the next one on next Friday, and there's not going to be an episode next Friday. Sorry, it's a Friday. It was a long day at school, so my brain is not quite all there, and I did literally come home, move everything off of my chair, and record because my brother is at home, and I like to record when I'm alone, and since I am talking about what I'm getting him for Christmas, I didn't want him to overhear. Anyways, so back on track to acquisitions. There's a few. So starting off, my grandma took me to Joann's, and I got 4 skeins of yarn. So one I got was, I did technically buy something else, but I'll talk about that later. Big Twist Tweed in, is that upside down? No. Big Twist Tweed in gray, and I'm going to make a Muscleburg for me out of this one. So this will be done, I will cast this on after my sweater is already like off the needles. Or what I'll do is I'll do all the increases or most of the increases on the 32-inch. And since I always do the sleeves first, I'll do both of the sleeves on my sweater. And then put the hat on the 16-inch circus. Put this up here. And then put the sweater on the 16-inch. So, I don't know. I don't quite know how that's going to work out, but it's going to work out. And another yarn I got, which is Bernay Velvet. It's very soft because it is 100% polyester in the color Jewel Blue. Yep. And I want to this summer start making more velvet tops. And I saw this blue and it's very pretty. And so I asked my grandma if she could get it for me, and she said yes. And so this and then all of my other velvet yarns will hopefully be used up by the end of summer, because I'll probably start making them in early spring. And then I got my last two acquisitions are two of the same thing, because I didn't know how much I would need of this yarn, because I wasn't sure what pattern I wanted to do, so I just got two to be safe. It is the Lion Brand Cotton Candy Blend in Sky. It doesn't pick up very well, but it's blue. Oh, it kind of is. It's blue with red, green, yellow, and pink, like strands around it, and it's very nice. It is a DK weight, 52% polyester, 48% cotton. It is 142 grams and 271 yards. And my little secret crop, if I were to knit it exactly to pattern and not use any extra yarn, I would only need one of these. But I might knit it a little bit longer, just like an inch longer. Just because, like, it will come down to, like, here, which I don't necessarily have any problem with, but I feel like it's more, I'll get more use out of it if I make it about an inch longer, because I feel I'd be more comfortable with my body and wearing that out instead of something a little bit shorter. And so I got two. And if I only use one and I get the 19-inch, I'll make another one. Oh well, like, it's not like, oh well. And so I got these. They were on clearance for $4.79, which is great. And I also found another yarn that I loved, but did not get any of because, again, I didn't know how much yarn I would need, but now I do. And so I might ask my grandma for the I don't know. I don't know, but I know the next time I knit the my little secret crop, because I most likely will, because I do wear a lot of crop tops, especially around the house and when it is summer, and it's also like a tank top, so I don't have to worry about sleeves. I'm going to be using Lion Brand's Pima Cotton, which is something new that they have. There's only 12 colors, which kind of isn't the best, but it is a newer thing. And so hopefully they'll come out with more colors later. And let me tell you, it is so soft. Like, I am very weird about textures. And most cotton yarn I don't like the texture of. But I like the texture of this cotton candy one. And I liked the texture of the Pima Cotton. And so those two are, like, most likely going to be my go-tos for cotton yarn. I don't know why I'm, like, struggling to talk. But so those all stuff my grandma got me. And then I bought myself technically 4 things of yarn, but, like, 2 separate orders. It'll make more sense in a second. The first one I got is from Knit Picks. And it is Knit Picks Hawthorne Fingering Weight Tonal Painted in the colorway Ashland. It's an 80/20. And it is beautiful. Like, look at that. Sorry for my nails. But look at that. There's some dark purple, there's some lighter purples, there's some pink. It's beautiful. And this will obviously be a pair of socks. And I completely forgot, this is also kind of technically an acquisition, but my Swift came in. And so that is here, and then my ball winder is there. So They will be in the background from now on. And then I completely forgot about this that I got from Joann's. I got 3 skeins of the chocolate brown Big Twist value because I didn't quite know how many I would have. Because I used partial skeins and I didn't weigh them before, I didn't exactly know how much yarn I would need for one Muscleburg, and so I got one. I only had this one done at the time, and so I just bought one per hat I had to make to be safe. And I used up, because I was dumb and used up the rest of the partial skein I had instead of just starting with a new skein for my mom's hat. This is technically partial skein, but there's not a lot taken out. But I will start both my aunt's and my brother's with the full skein. If I have to use the partial to kind of fill in the rest, I have to. If I don't, I don't. I'll find a use for it. It's the yarn I use very often, especially when I'm crocheting. So it'll get used. And I think that's honestly all I've gotten. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's all going to go to good use, and I'm very grateful for all of the yarn my grandma bought me, and for the Amazon gift card I got, which allowed me to buy the needles. And that is all of that, and I'm just kind of gonna chat for a little bit about knitting and my plans and be a little bit more clear and stuff and future cast-ons. So obviously my next sock cast-on is going to be this yarn because it is so pretty and I love it. And that'll be after this. Ooh, I dropped it. This sock is done because this is a second sock. The blue sock is a first sock. I'm gonna put that up there so it doesn't fall. And the rest of my Muscleburgs, those will be done by the time you guys see me next. And probably at least one sock. I don't quite, or most of one sock. Probably most of both. And then I will have this to work on after my Muscleburgs. And then either after this or alongside with this Muscleburg is going to be made. And then after all of my gift knitting, once I'm done with the Muscleburgs, I've said Muscleburg a lot in this episode. I'm most likely gonna get in a little cast on high and cast on my little secret crop, but I'm going to take, that's not going to be, I don't want to say priority, but this sweater is most likely going to be my main project for a little bit. I will sprinkle in, the My Little Crop and the socks, and I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with the Muscleburg, but I want to have this done by the time winter is over, which honestly winter can go into March and April here, so I have time. But I know it's gonna be done by then, but I'm hoping by February this will be done. And I know this looks really small, it looks like it's not gonna fit. This does fit over my head, and this is very stretchy. Plus it is superwash yarn, so it will plump up a little bit and block out very nicely. I know my arms can fit through these holes, which wasn't the main concern, because they kind of look tiny, but I think I was just overestimating how thick my arms are. And, obviously the yoke stretches out a pretty decent amount. And so I'm not concerned about this fitting. Oh, and I didn't even mention what I was making this out of. This is out of Knit Picks Swish worsted weight in Pinecone Heather. It is going up. And that's that. I was debating buying half of Jessie Mae's patterns because they're all so cute. I don't know, I'll probably make more of hers in the future. The person who reminded me that I loved that pattern because I saw it and I liked it, but because I don't use Ravelry a lot, it wasn't constantly in my face oh my god, I like that. Night Sky Knitting, whose Instagram will be linked in the description, as well as all of the other stuff that I've talked about. Her podcast is, she made the non-ribbed version, which I think it's like My Summer Crop or something like that. But I went on her Just She Made's Ravelry, and I realized she was the one who made the My Little Secret crop that I liked a lot, and so I bought the pattern. Oopsies. But I'm glad I did. And I think that is all for this week. I can't think of anything else that I would need to tell y'all. I am more active on Instagram than I am on here for obvious reasons. And please make sure to follow me down there. I'm almost at 200 followers. And yeah, my Etsy will also be linked down below. I have not updated that thing in so long, and I really need to. Just because I have some jellyfish that I crocheted. Sorry, I'm just putting like the end of this yarn back in the little cake. But there we go. I have some jellyfish I need to list. I want to sometime take better pictures of all of my old listings because they're kind of bad. But like, oh well. I do have better pictures of all of the velvet tops that are in my shop right now. I just need to upload them, and I haven't because I'm lazy and busy. I'm gonna blame it on the busyness, not the laziness. Yeah, that's how that's gonna work. Oh, also, my boyfriend and I celebrated our 5 months on November 29th, which is also my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Well, happy belated birthday. And I was looking at the calendar and I realized I'm going to have a podcast on New Year's Eve. My last podcast of the year is going to go up on the last day of the year, which I find so cool. And I don't know if, and then that means that there's not one on the week of Christmas. Oops. Sorry if you guys heard that. Because my next one is the 17th. And then the one after that is the 31st. And then we're done with podcasts for the year. I will not be done making podcasts, but there will be no more podcasts until 2022, which is the day after my last podcast goes up. And I'm almost halfway through my senior year of high school. I feel like I was just a little freshman like 2 weeks ago, but like I'm not prepared to like graduate. Like I feel like it shouldn't have happened that fast. Like everybody says high school is gonna go by fast, and you never believe it until you're about to leave, and you're like, wow, that was like 2 weeks. But enough with my rambling. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk and ramble and go on tangents and yada yada. So I'm going to end this video. Sorry if you heard bags crinkling under my feet. I had to scoot forward to reach y'all. But yes, that is all for this week. Thank you guys so much for coming. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. I do respond to all of my comments because I don't get that many, but and also follow my Instagram. I might do a giveaway at 200 followers. I don't know. Depends on like what my schedule looks like and when it was, like when I hit it, but every follow and every subscriber are greatly appreciated, and every thumbs up is too. And that is all for this week. I love you guys all so very, very much, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.